Okay, some people assume that getting in shape is reserved for people who are either really genetically gifted or at least people who have a lot of spare time on their hands, work out and prepare food all the time. Well, today's guest on 5 Minutes with is a mom of five, which means free time is essentially non existent, I'm assuming. But welcome to your episode of 5 Minutes with Rachel.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so did you always know that you were going to have a big family or did it just kind of happen?
My husband and I, before we got married, we always said 5 to 7 kids. So we hit five, and then I was like, okay, we're done. Yeah, so I kind of did. I mean, I always came from a big family. So the idea of having a lot of siblings in the house, was always appealing to me. So,
That's
yeah.
cool. So are you serious? Like you really think you're done now?
I say I'm done. Yeah. It's hard because I get baby fever stuff and I'm like, oh. And then my sister the other day reminded me, they turn into toddlers, it's like having kittens. Yeah, but I'm very happy with having five. So
What just for some context because some people are probably like how do you do it? What are the ages of your kids?
so my oldest is 7 and my youngest is 8. He's gonna be 8 months. So I have a 7-year old, a 6-year old, a 4-year old, a 2-year old, and an 8 month old.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, those are all still babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a good segue into this next question then. I'm sure this has changed as you've had more kids, but in general, like what are the biggest challenges in prioritizing your own health in the midst of like taking care of so many other people?
So it's become part of our routine, and they've been able to watch that and learn from it. And we're kind of, I'm able to take what I learned and explain it to them a little bit. So
That's so cool.
yeah,
Do they watch you work out and kind of mimic what you do?
yeah, yeah, they do. Especially my 2-year old. She always wants to play like with my smaller weights while I'm doing stuff. And she'll try to imitate. She'll try to imitate what I'm doing. So it's yeah, it's fun, but it can be frustrating.
You're
I
like,
always
I'm
like
trying.
have to make them leave the room. Like if I'm doing swings or something, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, everyone needs to move. Everyone needs to get out of the way. It kind of my kids and myself, we do pretty well at having to switch up the day if we need to kind of get out of our routine. So it changes every day. Just, having the ability to be flexible.
Yeah, sounds like
Yeah.
just the overarching commitment to getting it done and then just
Yeah.
finding a way literally to make it happen no
Yeah.
matter what the circumstances are is really the secret. We've worked together twice now. We worked together back in 2021 and then you started coaching with Haley again this year at the beginning of the year. So let's kind of back up a little bit and like before you found Digital Barbell, kind of what was your experience with exercise and training and even nutrition?
So I used to do Beachbody. There's not a whole lot of teaching involved, but I mean, I sucked 15-pound weights for probably a year and I never moved up. And I thought, oh, I'm losing weight, but I wasn't getting stronger. I was counting calories. I was using my fitness pal. So I was watching what I was eating, but I mean, I wasn't focused on protein. I wasn't focused on fiber. It was just, if I was like way over on carbs but low on protein, I wouldn't have known any better. I gained it all back immediately when I stopped. So I had experience losing weight, but I didn't understand how to keep it off. I wasn't getting stronger. I was kind of always looking for the next best thing. I think there was that one company called It Works.
Genius
I don't,
name.
and it was like this thing where, oh, if you wrap it around your belly,
Get out of here.
for a couple of hours, it's actually going to burn
Oh
off
my
the fat.
gosh.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And I was just like, I'd rather just, you know, work it off
Mhm.
instead of just sitting in front of the TV and hoping, gee, I hope this gel really works.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to look this up and
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't know if they do. I don't. It's like one of those things that they come to your house and try to sell stuff,
oh
and
my
Wow,
gosh.
like a door-to-door
Oh, like a
it-
salesman.
multi
it's
level
like,
thing.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, they're like, oh, but you need to drink like a ton of water while you're doing it, like while you have this band on you. And I thought, well, maybe it's the fact that you're drinking a lot of water.
Yeah.
You
Your
know,
stomach
so
is too
Plus,
full to eat at that
and
point.
while you're sitting there on the couch with this thing around your stomach, you're not eating. So I mean, you're
Yeah.
cut.
so I was always looking for the next best
Yeah.
thing, and but I wasn't being taught until I joined Digital Barbell, and I was learning And I was learning alongside people that were doing that with me, Bethany, Marshall, Jason, Ashley,
Mm-hmm.
whole, I mean, everybody in my family,
The
Yeah.
tribe.
Yeah. So
Well, like I mentioned, Haley is your coach now. Like, what has the experience been like actually having a coach to guide you and be along your side?
she's been really great. It's been different because after I had Joel, my 8-month-old, I had diastasis recti
Mm-hmm.
or diastasis recti. And I messaged her and I just said, hey, like, I'm pretty sure that I have this and it's self-diagnosable. So she was able to adjust my workouts to focus on that, and I've healed a lot more. So that's been great. With the custom, it's been a lot more like one-on-one, and just, her and I, we talk all throughout the day, about my workouts and what I've been eating. And so it's been great. She's a great coach. She puts up with a lot. So I feel for her, and she's just been very encouraging, and just we've been working on my mindset a lot with the scale, and don't worry about what the scale says. And I've had that. That was an issue for me back in 2021, where I was so focused on what the scale said. So we've still been working on that.
Mm-hmm. It's important.
So it's been great. I've had a great experience with her.
Okay, well, the scale aside, then, like you've been back working with Haley since the end of January, so right around 7 months now. Like, what kind of progress are you most proud of?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot stronger, and I'm still using dumbbells, but I've been excited about how heavy I've been able to lift them. My sumo deadlifts is the deadlift version that I'm working on right now. I've been able to get a lot stronger with those. I have a lot more energy considering having an 8-month. Yeah, so there's a lot of progress that I feel good. I think I lost like 7 inches around my waist,
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, I just feel it's just a lot different. I'm not sluggish anymore.
Yeah. When you and I worked together back in 2021, I remember you were very inventive with how you would put your dumbbells together. Like you figured out that like you could take because I think you had like the adjustables. You could figure out you could put all the weights on one dumbbell and make one big heavy one. It was awesome. I was like, that's a great idea, Rachel.
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way. So you mentioned like, I'm always interested in the carryover between what we do in the gym and the way that we treat our body with nutrition, like how that carries over to the rest of our life. Because our tagline is like, we believe your training and nutrition should enhance your life and not take it over. Besides just having energy, I imagine you need a lot of strength for keeping up with the family. Like, how do you see the spillover into that? And then also like the impact that it's had just on like the people that you come in contact with in your daily life also?
As far as like nutrition goes, just being able to enjoy fellowship with other people, because food is it's evolved around family. It's evolved around just spending time with people.
Yeah. I know one thing that's really important I remember back is like, you guys have a weekly pizza night, don't you?
Yeah.
As a family, doesn't that seem kind of counterproductive to health and fitness goals? Like, does that blow people's mind? I mean, there's enough people in your family now that maybe it doesn't, but just like talk about that balance between understanding that, any food can be a part of your diet and how much of that actually ties into the mindset around food.
Yeah. I always log before I log the day before, so I know that I can plan that into my day. So logging beforehand, knowing that I can fit that in, and I know that we talked a lot about making the next best decision. So pizza night also sometimes involves, we're gonna celebrate someone's birthday. If I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna have a piece of pizza, but then we're gonna all have cake and ice cream. For me, I have to choose, am I going to indulge on the pizza, or am I going to indulge on a piece of cake? And one of, times that just involves having to give up one or the other, but saying, you know what, I'm glad that I was able to enjoy what I chose, and making that next best decision. Like, I can go home and I can have something, that I know will fit into my nutrition that day, and I'll be able to enjoy it. So, yeah.
And even beyond that, like knowing that if you did decide to have the pizza, the ice cream, the cake, and whatever, that's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah. And Haley always tells me, you have to eat like, what is it, 3,500 extra calories to gain a pound.
Mhm.
And if I did decide to have the pizza and the cake and the ice cream, like I know, and I've learned this a lot the past couple months, like it's okay that you enjoyed that. Like it's okay that you ate that. Like your 7 months of progress is not washed away.
Like you said before, you just make that next right decision when you get back home and you go right back to your normal nutrition. Yeah, that's the key right there. It's not like, oh, this day or this week is a wash.
It's
Let's go all
and that's
in.
all mindset.
Yeah, that is all mindset.
Yeah. You won't find that in like a program that you download.
Yeah.
Or in a spreadsheet of how many protein, carbs, and fat to eat.
Yeah.
Okay, well we've stolen a lot of your time here. This has definitely gone beyond 5 minutes, but I do want to ask, like I always ask this question, rewind, I don't know, a year, 2, 3 years ago. Somebody else is in that place right now that you were then, and they've been contemplating, prioritizing their health. What do you say to that person that's afraid to get started?
I would say to not wait for motivation. A lot of people just wait to be motivated. And, I even remember like telling my mom before I started, I was like, I remember how much work it took to get to where I am now. And I thought I have to do that all over again. And my mom said, well, you're not motivated, but, once you see progress, that will motivate you and it's going to carry on. It's like, okay, so you just need to start.
So that is perfect.
And it just, just not wait for the motivation, even just, like involving the people around you in this. Like my husband is involved in this. My kids are involved in it. My husband knows this lifestyle. He knows what I do, and that helps me. So I think just even educating the people around you that are so involved in your life so that they understand, well, we're going out, we're going to go eat all this food. Why aren't you doing this? They know that it's because of the lifestyle that I lead. So yeah, just not wait for motivation and involve the people in your daily life.
Those are great words.
Yeah.
Like I think that's easy to forget about, but man, what a way to either be successful or not be successful is to have that support system that you're interacting with every single day. And so much of it just comes down to having an honest conversation with people too. Like, they're love and support you, but sometimes just like takes an honest conversation. It's like, here's what I need from you. Here's the support that I need. And then boom, friction, maybe not disappear, but goes away a lot.
We feel lucky to have worked with you and all of your family. I've been lucky enough to coach like you and both of your sisters, and I've always been like, if you had everybody in a room together, you three are like some of the hardest workers in the room. Or in your videos you used to submit, I would see you like your kids are running around, you're managing your children, and you're getting your workout in, and you're putting in that intensity and effort. And that I always knew like, she's got it. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm supposed to go to Bethany's today, and she has her gym in her garage. So her and I are going to work out together, and I've got my mom's going to watch the kids for me, so I can do that, and just the group of people there to kind of to help each other and encourage each other. It's been great. So
that is awesome.
That's so great. Hey, make sure you get Marshall out there too. Tell him I said so.
So
your coach said so. Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks so much. I hope people are inspired by your story. Keep being awesome. And I know that Haley would say the same thing if she was on here too.
For sure.
Thank you.
All right, have a good rest of your day.
All right. You too.